Alright guys, on the bench we have a Cobra 29 LTD, and this particular radio belongs to Carlos out in the great state of Ohio. And let me tell you, I loved traveling through Ohio, through the northern part anyway. I didn't get to see the whole state, but when we went out, my wife and I went out to Sturgis for the bike rally that's out there a couple of years ago. Me and my wife were huge. I guess you could say we live the biker lifestyle. Well, not completely, but we do enjoy going out on our Harley and going to all the rallies and stuff. But anyway, yeah, we drove through the from Massachusetts out to South Dakota, and I got to say the only part that I hated commuting out there was Chicago. Chicago was, man, just a real, just a crap hole, and the traffic sucked, and man, just it was stressful driving through Chicago. I'm sure the whole state of Illinois isn't like that, but Chicago sure as hell was a nightmare. But anyway, Ohio wasn't. I liked traveling through Ohio. But anyway, this is Carlos's Cobra 29. He sent me in 3 radios. I'm sorry, he sent me in another radio and a Turner mic. So this is another radio he wanted me to look at. Unit and Trucker, or PTC. This is a 104. PTC 104. These are pretty cool. I've had a couple of these go through my bench already. But it's the Unit and Trucker. Definitely a unique radio. It's got the 2 meters. According to the messages he sent me, this meter is stuck. I forget which one he said, but one of these is stuck, and he just wants to go through it, getting working correctly. So yeah. Anyway, that's these 2 things are going to be for another time, another video. But this Cobra 29 does not receive, does not transmit. Yeah, basically, I think that these Cobra 29s are worth, restoring, going through them and fixing them. These are the nice side mic, well built, Uniden chassis. This one is built in, this one's made in Taiwan. So it's a radio worth putting some money into. He also sent in this overlay he wants installed on the meter, so we'll get that done. And then one of the things he told me was the light. He'd like to have the light even, rather than just lit up on one spot. So I told him there was some stuff that we could do to make sure that the light's even. So we'll go ahead and do that. But anyway, I have it plugged into the MFJ meter and confirm that it does not transmit, that we have no deflection there. And definitely nothing on. So definitely no transmit. So let me get this on the signal generator here and see if we have receive, and take it from there. We'll send a S9 signal to it and see if the meter is actually deflecting to S9. Alright guys, stand by. Alright, so I got it on the signal generator. It's channel 19, and we have a 60, minus 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 signal going in. And this meter is dead, but it is receiving. The volume's a little scratchy, so we'll clean those up. That's a part of the service anyway. But it is working, it is receiving. So I'm not sure what's going on with that meter, but it's definitely not moving. So we'll have to take a look at that. Possibly a new meter. I'm not sure yet. But it is receiving. Also, the final is a weird... he originally thought, possibly, that it could have been a bad final. But there is a weird final. It's a 2029. So we're gonna go. I told him. I said we should just go ahead and upgrade that. I'm not. I thought it should. I thought it should have had like a 2078 in it or something. But it's just I don't know. I've never seen one of those before. And when I ran when I looked up the data sheet on it, we can definitely improve upon that. And guys, those MOSFET upgrades, those things are BS. I don't know why it even became a thing for these radios. I'm not a fan of them. They're just super sensitive to electrostatic, discharge. I don't know how it became a thing, quite honestly. Just put in, I know the 1969s, the Mitsubishis are a little rare to find, but, those HG replacements, or even the NTE, what are they, 236s or the 235s, I forget which ones. Those are direct replacements for those 1969 Mitsubishis, and they perform just as well. Even some of those NTEs are tough to find, but those HG versions, they work really, really well. And for me, that's an upgrade. Those are rated for 16 watts, so same with the NTE replacements, 16 watts. So, way better than the MOSFET. And you don't have to worry about, if your antenna is even slightly off, you decrease the lifespan on that MOSFET. It's just, they're super sensitive. You key up 2-3 times with a bad antenna and forget about it. They're blown. 1969s are the way to go, no doubt about it. That's my opinion, but I don't even do MOSFET upgrades, as people call them. When people want an upgrade, I say, hey, you know what I do? I do the 1969, and it's, easy swap, and that's it. Nothing else to it. So anyway, we'll be upgrading this to a 1969. I do have some Mitsubishis, but they are a bit on the expensive side. Genuine 1969s. I do have a couple of the NTE 236s, I believe, 235s, whatever they are, and I have about 10 of the HG 2SCs 1969s. So we'll be putting one of those in there. What else did I want to point out? Zip ties. Guys, there's a special place in hell for people who cut their zip ties like this. This might as well be a razor sticking up. I hate that. I hate when people do that to zip ties. Man, just cut them flush. Please, rip your hand open. I hate that. Special place in hell for people that do that. Anyway, moving on. So another thing I noticed was it could probably use a little bit of a cleaning. There's like some residue throughout the whole radio. So we'll get that polished. We'll get the radio looking nice. The cases are not bad. Probably just use a cleaning. That's a part of the service I do anyway. I clean up, some of the stuff on the inside, any residue. I clean it up as best I can. You can also, if you want these things wrapped, I wrap them. That's also another option. The decals for the front, that's another thing I do. But this one's actually in really good shape. So, So what I'm going to do is probably next step is diagnosing the no transmit on this. And try to check out some voltages, make sure everything is okay, and find out why it's not transmitting. My experience is that IC3, which is there between right beneath the dual can there, that's a known culprit for a no transmit on many of these Cobra 29s. But it's not always the case. But generally, when you have receive and there is no transmit, That IC3 is a very, very common culprit of a no transmit on these radios. But again, you got to check the voltages on it, make sure that it's okay, make sure that you're getting all the frequencies going to the first, before you can actually diagnose a bad IC3. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going right after that IC3 and making sure that all of our frequencies are going and all of our voltages are correct at that IC3. All right, let's get this TX diagnosed. Stand by. All right, guys, so I got the radio flipped over, and this is pin 1 of IC3, which is the transmit mixer. So it goes from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That's IC3 there, transmit mixer. So what this does is it takes the 10.240 frequency and mixes it with the 16 megahertz frequency. So basically, just like it sounds, it mixes both of them. And and then it takes that signal, mixes those two, and then outputs it to whatever channel you're on. So in this case, it should, when we get the two frequencies, it should be 27.185. So let's check to make sure. So this is actually a really good starting point, because you can actually see if the 10.240 is making it to IC3, and you can actually see if the 16 megahertz plus, it's going to vary 16 point whatever, depending on whatever channel you're at, is making it to IC3. And you can actually see if it is mixing, is it spitting that frequency out? So this is a really good point to check on these Cobra 29s anyway. Not all radios, but these. This is a known failure point on many of these radios. I can't tell you how many of these IC3s that I've changed over the years. So let's see what's going on here. So pin 1. So 16.490. And then we have, there's the 10.240 on pin 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me try to key up here. Okay. So now, so we have a 16 on pin 2, 16.945. Pin 3, 16.945. Okay, so now we're going to take 16.945 and the 10.240, and we're going to add them. People still remember how to add, right? That's 5, that's 8, that's 11, with the 1, that's 7, 1 and 1 is 2. 27.185, that is channel 19. And we're at channel 19. Guess what, guys? This has a really good IC3. So this IC3 is not our problem. But at least we checked and we made sure. So now we can move on to the next step. But that's a good way of checking whether or not your IC3 TX mixer is working on your Cobra 29s. All right, so now we can move on to the next step. So we know that the 10.240 is making it to the IC3. We know that it is mixing, and we do know that it is outputting to the correct channel. So now what I like to do is I like to go through, seeing as it's not transmitting, I like to go through the transmit alignment, and we'll go ahead and do that and see if something is off. you know, if we can't get an adjustment to work properly, it'll give us a hint as to, you know, what's going on. So let me get up the service manual for this Cobra 29, and we'll go through the transmit align portion and see if we can't get an idea of what's going on here. All right, let me pull that up on the computer, and we'll go through that and see if we can't get this thing transmitting. Stand by. All right, so I got the service manual up on the computer, and it's stating to put oscilloscope on R61 lead, and that's where it's at right now. It's set on R61. So this is the transmit adjustments for these Cobra 29s. So we're on step 1. So we got the oscilloscope hooked up, and we're going to adjust L23, 21, 20, and 17. Easy enough. So I got it hooked up on the oscilloscope, and as I'm keying up here, that's a good sign, actually. It's a sign that something is making it to R61. I'm pressing on the microphone here. So that's a good sign, actually. So now let's go through and adjust some of these cans here. And so we'll start with 23, 21, 20, and 17. Yeah, so let's see if anything shows up on the scope here while let me key up here. So where's this? 23. Nothing so far. Let me get another adjustment tool. Where is it? I think this one might fit better. Yeah, it's a little better. All right, let me key this back up. Okay. Nothing on 17. Let's try 21. Still nothing. Sorry, I'm trying to key this up and adjust this at the same time. Okay. And let's go to 17. Nothing. Wait, we're starting to get... Okay. That's a good sign. So we're starting to get some... Alright. Oh, look at that. That's... Okay. So, as I'm adjusting L21 here, we're getting transmit back. That's good news. I'm kind of happy about that. Okay. So it was L21 was kind of out, way out. So let me go to 17 here. Look at 17. 17's... Okay. Let me give this final a break, even though we're changing it out, but I had it keyed up for a while. Go back to 21 here. Okay, we're starting to get... There we go. 17. 17 was out too. Guess what, guys? We got transmit back. All right, well, I think one or two things could be happening here. It's not normal to have these as far out as they are, so what I'm thinking is probably some bad capacitors here, or I mean possibly somebody could have messed with these cans here, but chances are I think that the circuits here, these capacitors are actually hindering these circuits. As we all know, old capacitors, they lose their value, they actually start turning into resistors. So I have a feeling that, let me get this off of it's 161 here. I have a feeling that this radio is suffering from bad capacitors, which is why a lot of people just start off by doing capacitors when they're this old. You know, so chances are this thing went out of spec, capacitors are out of spec, and, you know, no one, either somebody adjusted them the wrong way, or, you know, that's how they normally were supposed to be when the radio was new, and now that the, you know, the radio's old, it's way out of alignment. So yeah, we actually have, let's see if we have modulation actually. Audio, 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 audio. Yeah, so we actually have modulation now too, so that's good. That's a plus. So we got transmit, we have audio, and we have receive. So yeah, the next steps are to, I'd say to recap this in alignment. So this is also proof that when you redo these caps, that you do need to do an alignment. You know, I have customers that have asked me to just, you know, recap it and not align it just to save a couple of bucks, but you know, it's not worth it. But yeah, this is proof here that after you do all these caps, an alignment is almost necessary. But anyway, yeah, that could be the two different scenarios as to what happened here. Somebody probably, you know, could have messed with the cans, but again, I've never seen them adjusted out that far out, so chances are the caps are bad, and it just stayed within its factory alignment. But anyway, I'll probably leave this video here, you know, with this specific radio, because everything else is pretty much straightforward. It's just recapping, alignment, getting this meter fixed, you know, cleaning up the radio. So it's pretty straightforward, but at least I wanted to show a diagnosis, troubleshooting a no transmit on a Cobra 29. So yeah, that's basically it. So remember to keep in mind what I said about IC3. It's a common failure point. You know, another thing is you can also check your PLL. You know, make sure that your 10.240 is there. Make sure that your crystals are actually oscillating. But like I said, you know, being in the business, these IC3s are common. You know, with these Cobra 29s. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and recap this, align it, clean it up. Maybe I might do a follow-up video, maybe not, I don't know. Maybe I might do it before and after, you know. But anyway, guys, I'll leave it here. If I do decide to make a video, two-part video, I will. But I'm going to leave it here. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys learned something. All right. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Let me know how I'm doing with these videos. Hopefully you guys are learning something and enjoying them. Thanks for watching.